Good evening, everybody. Thanks for staying tuned through the Superstation presentation of A Ziggy Christmas. We are What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
Oh, that's Ziggy. Will he ever win?
Probably not. He had a nice Christmas, though. Joining me here in the top row. He is cannot wait for this week to end because that means he doesn't have to go back to school for a little bit. It's rack time, Rob.
I don't know what I'll do without telling kids to put their pants on.
That's a valuable service, though. You can't disavow that. You can't just turn your back on that.
Yeah, I know. Like I tell these kids, I have one rule in this classroom, one inviolate rule in this classroom. And they continue to break it.
I mean, is there a specific purpose, or is it just pants off to be pants off?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
They saw the no shoes, no shirt, no service line and saw a loophole.
No. That I don't have a problem with. It's the pants.
Like, is it warm in there? I mean, is it?
It doesn't matter.
It's just chaos.
All right, I'm just trying to get to maybe just any kind of rule, any kind of situation in their head that would make them want to break that rule, rather. But,
if I could figure that out, I'd be rich.
Tap into the logic of toddlers.
In the bottom row, we've got him on loan from Articulated Points. It's the first time you've seen him in, like 6 weeks. It's probably some kind of record. Phil Donnelly is joining us again.
There he was. He was just doing the end credits to Police Squad. There should be a chimpanzee in the background just playing havoc.
Just wrecking everything on your shelf.
Something needs to be moving around me.
Yeah.
All your weird, creepy dolls. Phil, how's things?
Well, they were fine up until a minute ago.
I know I'm good at that.
Phil decided he was sleeping with the lights on tonight.
Just killing the vibe, man. Just killing the vibe.
Probably. Kind of what we do here. I apologize. I continue to be sick, so at various points you'll see me stop and get beverage, and I'm still in the lozenges, and yeah, just all kinds of good things going on here. It's some kind of viral cough, my doctor thinks. So
you should really work on that.
Can't get a damn thing to go viral, but this cough, that's viral. Get sick viral.
Get the wrong target.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. I got the Meyer cough drops. Meyer.
You didn't go for the Ricola? No Swiss Alp yodeling?
It's garbage. Garbage. And they're gross too. I don't like
giant horns.
Like a wad of chewing tobacco.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird herbal quality to those that I don't care for.
What's that? Does NyQuil do lozenge? What's the one that's pretty much candy?
Ludens. The Ludens are pretty much candy.
Yeah. That's just.
Might as well just have a wrapper that says Charms. Dustin Jeffrey asking you, Rob, is No Pants the new 6'7"?
Oh, I have a funny 6'7" story.
None of them are funny.
Oh no! This one was funny and for all the wrong reasons, but I hate myself. So yeah, but last week the the performing arts department has their big holiday spectacular show and stuff like that. It's a big deal in this town. And that was well, actually not late, but towards the end of the week before. And on the Friday before the big, the elementary schools will come in and watch like this shortened version of the show. And the elementary school that was coming in, tip number one, they're coming in the wrong door, so they're by my classroom. That ought to sort, okay, good. They're being led by people who are paying attention. Oh no, they're not. Not blaming the elementary school kids. They're 8, and they're of course they're lining up. They're going single file down the thing, and the one teacher, I don't know, she heard murmuring in the back. She stops the line. Whole thing, you get the whole like, cartoon backup and stuff like that with kids, and I'm just watching this kind of unfold in the hallway in front of me, just going, okay. And the if I hear 6, 7 one more time, we're all going back and turn around. And I actually had to turn back into my room to keep from laughing out loud and just completely losing it.
Should have just said 6, 7 and walked in.
I was telling one of my colleagues on the other side of the hall that they were coming in. She saw me laugh and she comes over. She says, "What's so funny?" I said, "I have to tell you this." And she knew exactly who the teacher was because her son had her. Oh, and she goes, "Oh, that sounds like so." It's like, when she gives me this description, I go, "Yeah, that was her." And she'd have done it too had I suggested. I said we should have just been standing there with I could have held up a 6, she could have held up a 7, just as all these kids are going back. Oh.
Truly, my side split.
You had to be there, but just like it's like this phrase means nothing. Why are you getting upset about it? The kids are just doing it at this point just to screw with you. Let it go. They'll stop.
Hockey Town Arcade with a better story. Don't forget to smash that like button. Absolutely. You guys are a little lax with smashing the like button the last couple of weeks. So,
I mean, you can gently click it as well if that's what does it for you.
Right. Sure, but we like the show of force. We like the enthusiasm. Dustin Jeffrey is only here for the Garfield's Christmas special discussion and is leaving if there is no Garfield's Christmas special discussion. I mean, Garfield, Christmas is fine, but Thanksgiving is where it's at for Garfield. So that's a better special.
The Halloween one's pretty good too.
Yeah,
because you start not only do you get candy. I think you start off with Binky the Clown.
Right, which is never a bad thing.
Good to know I could pull up, specials like that from 40 years ago.
Look, man, it's Binky the Clown.
Yeah.
The Gunny says he misses the babies from daycare, but not the staff.
Well, then you should aim better.
Greg Augustin saying In and Out removed 6 and 7 as order numbers. Okay. That seems like caving in, Greg. I don't know. I don't know if that's a positive. I think at some point we just have to let them 6, 7 their way out of things.
Yeah, they did it. It's true. It was on the news.
Bart making a real sacrifice. He paused Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas for this. We appreciate that, man, because that's quality.
But is it the cut with or without Kermit?
Was the later cut Kermit?
I have 2 DVDs of that. One with Kermit, one without. And it's not like
I remember the first time I saw it. When I was a kid, Kermit the Frog introduced and closed it.
Mm-hmm.
But as it turns out, that special predates the Muppet Show.
No, it was during. It was like 79 when it came out, but it was on HBO, so not a lot of people saw it.
Yeah, it was an HBO.
Yeah. I thought it was actually, like maybe a year or two before the Muppet Show, and then it kind of got rediscovered.
No, it's been re-edited, so rights issues, so you can do it without Kermit and not have to tangle all that bit.
Right.
But
okay. So like
it's all about the River Bottom Nightmare Band.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that.
That was I think the Kermit one came later. Because
as far as I recall, got to look at the Wikipedia page on that.
Yeah, I don't. I remember seeing it right when we first got cable, and that would have been about 82, and I don't remember Kermit being in that. But then
I just saw a
later.
All this is mute until we get an uncut version of A Muppet's Christmas, which will never happen.
Terry Hawk.
1977.
I like to hit the like button 6, maybe 7 times. Well, go 7, because the even number 1 means you're not hitting. It means you're taking it off.
Yeah.
So the odd number, go 7. You want to go 7.
It's like an on-off switch.
Yeah. Gene Fleming, Muppet Family Christmas is where it's at. Muppets, Sesame Street, and Fraggle Rock. That's a good one. That's kind
and that's why we can't get it on DVD. Right, nobody has the rights now.
It's been kind of lost to the ages there, but
yeah, because the Muppets are owned by Disney. Sesame Street is Children's Television Workshop or Sesame Workshop now, and then
Fraggle Rock still Henson Company, Jim Henson Company.
Yeah. Which is funny because I thought Disney had bought Henson just lock, stock, and barrel, but I guess it was just the Muppets, huh?
Just the Muppets, not even like the Henson Workshop, just the Muppets.
Yeah. I thought they had Fraggle Rock now, but I could be wrong on that.
That's on Netflix.
They don't have that doesn't mean anything, Phil, because they can license stuff out and just make money.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if they were to do it, it'd be on Disney Plus because it's cheap for them.
Sure, but that what I'm saying is that's not going to preclude them from just licensing it out and letting Netflix give them money for the privilege. But they wouldn't have Sesame Street either way, because that is still Sesame Workshop. But yeah, Emmett Otter. That's one of those where you turn it on and you just get ready for it to be dusty in here.
Got to put a hole in the wash tub.
That's there's some deep themes going on in Emmett Otter for being a kid show with fuzzy little puppets. And what I always like to do too is I'll find the outtakes on YouTube.
Trying to get that wheel to go.
Yeah, that the wheel going, and you get to hear Mama Otter cursing and stuff. It's good stuff. Firefly says the overlay is very festive. I especially like the sock rubbing on Mike's head. It's keeping things warm up here.
I have a reindeer kicking me in mine, which kind of is apropos because that's how I feel.
About right. Dustin Jeffrey with the important question: is Muppets Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas Carol, or George C. Scott's Christmas Carol the preferred version? That seems like there's a turn there, but Phil, we'll let you answer first. Which is yours of those three?
Well, Mickey's Christmas Carol is only half an hour long, so it's got the brevity on its side, but also means that too much of the story is left out of it. George C. Scott's Christmas Carol is just fun for George C. Scott, but nothing else is really what people remember about it. They just think a cantankerous old man trying to pretend he's British. And then the Muppets Christmas Carol is literal perfection. So,
well put, Phil. I couldn't have said that any better myself.
Hey, the Ghost of Christmas Present, the George C. Scott one, is the equalizer.
Look, that's all well and good, but I mean, Phil's right. George C. Scott is,
not British.
He's worth the price of admission and then some, because he's just grabbing huge pieces of scenery and gnashing them with his teeth the entire runtime of the movie. But Muppet Christmas Carol is perfection. I'm guessing that you're in a similar boat on that one, Rob.
I wouldn't. You know what? Out of those three, I'm kicking one off the medal stand. I'm giving Mickey the boot, and I'm replacing it with Magoo.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Mr. Magoo, underrated. Another one kind of lost to the ages.
The original animated Christmas special.
Dominic Johnson, question for Rob. Do students still give teachers gifts for Christmas, or is that a thing of the 80s too?
Yeah, the parents will, do a little thank you around the holidays. Some of them will. Which is nice.
It's pity money for looking over their terrible children.
It's not the kids that are the problem. Pant removal and all, they're not the problem.
Yeah, that's if they could help it, they probably wouldn't be in my class. So.
Dave McDonald notes that George C. Scott was great in Football in the Groin.
That is his magnum opus.
That's his tour de force. Yes.
We can never forget Football in the Groin.
Art following up on the Equalizer comment with Queen Latifah worked with George C. Scott. Yes. Yes.
Queen Latifah?
Actually, it was Denzel.
But if you use the Denzel, then I can't use the Jay Sherman Queen Latifah?
It's still hilarious to me that they put out an Equalizer movie while the Equalizer TV show was still going on. How did the rights on that work out?
It's all Paramount. Who knows? Dustin Jeffrey trying to throw another one on there, or the Charles Xavier, Jean-Luc Picard, Phil's co-host is Scrooge. That one, all apologies to Sir Patrick Stewart on that one, but it's no Muppets.
I do appreciate it for being one of the very few adaptations that still include the two little children with the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah, the George C. Scott one has that too, though.
Yes, they do. Yeah, need and want. Yeah,
mm-hmm. They're creepy.
The creepy little kids in the robe. Yeah.
But that's just saying. Most of the time, they're left out.
They're creepy.
They're meant to be.
Creepy as hell. Creepy as hell.
Which is where the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come takes you. On some versions.
Well, let's keep it moving while I still have a voice. It's time for the news.
And there ain't no news.
Oh, the lag is real tonight, folks. Real. I have no idea when stuff is beginning or ending. None.
Keeps you on your toes.
Right. Anyways, first news item. Just going back and giving a recap for Stump Rack Time, Rob. In case you missed the segment that we've been running the previous 6 weeks, Rob rampaged through at a 28-2 clip. We just wanted to make sure he got his recognition in graphic form.
Polite golf clap.
And again, for the record, of no help, Justin Bell. It also gives me the opportunity to play the bumper for it one more time and give everybody that much more holiday anxiety.
I saw a movement in the corner of my eye.
Right, all of those creepy dolls kind of went. But so we'll see if maybe there's another one of these. As I said, Stump Rack Time Rob was successful, and even if it wasn't, I'm going to say it was, because it was a segment that we got to do and have fun with that I did no work. So I'm in
Nothing.
favor. Very
I
little.
would say it wasn't successful because you didn't actually stump Ragtime Rob.
It wasn't my job. So, I was just here to read questions.
Mm-hmm.
Read questions and have great hair. I wrote no.
And we're all out of gray hair.
I wrote no questions. I had no plan. I did what was on the slides. I made unwarranted comments about people's ability to do graphic design. That's what I do here. So what's on Joe Mine way?
It's very Spartan.
Well, this is because this is, again, I did no work. So I wasn't happy about having to do this.
Right.
As little work as possible.
It was made under protest.
Kind of. It had to be done, so be sure to let us know what you think of our holiday border around the screen there. That is a one-time only deal, so don't get used to it, but enjoy
You
it while.
should see the one for though.
Arbor Day is the official What's on Joe Mine holiday, so unofficially our birthday every year. Next news item. Hey, we're into comics already.
Whoa.
You can tell there's a lot of news when we're into comics this soon. Everybody tuning in now is like, oh shit, we're like an hour in. No, we're not an hour in.
There's no news.
This is the second news item.
We spent 10 minutes going over Christmas Carol adaptations.
Right. There's about 15 people that work for Hasbro at this point. They're not doing anything the week before Christmas. It's not. No.
And to recap that Christmas Carol, Muppets, number one. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and let's put the reasons for that at the top. Michael Caine.
And Muppets.
No cheeses for us Mises.
But I almost expect our sister to just appear, like in a puff of smoke in the bottom of just to start quoting Muppet Christmas Carol. Anyways,
we're about 5 minutes away from me starting to break out and singing "It Feels Like Christmas," so we better move on.
I got the remove button. It's okay. Coming from our friends at Skybound, this is tomorrow. G.I. Joe 16. That's Dreadnought War Part 4. We can see once again the it's kind of like the 21 Jump Street poster for Duke and Cobra Commander here, as they're just showing off their muscles and their scars, trying to look all buff and sensual.
Cobra Commander's lucky he still has enough material left to make that hood.
Yeah, it's definitely a statement.
That's right. It's got to be. You have to have a statement piece.
This is their Top Gun volleyball game moment.
Yeah.
I can hear the Kenny Loggins now.
Josiah Alcorn asking, no love for the Bill Murray version. You mean Scrooged? Scrooged is fine. It's no Muppets. We're good with Scrooged. But that's also not a Christmas Carol.
It's a modernization.
Right. It's
a reinterpretation, if you will.
It's close, but it's not the same.
If we get into Scrooge, then we have to go into Spirited, and nobody wants to do that. So
that's correct. So Phil, you've been reading Dreadnought War. What do you think?
That is in fact comics that I have and have looked at. Yes. I have the first issue of Dreadnought War. I've not had a chance to go to my comic book store in a few weeks.
Phil.
I'm caught up on Real American Hero, at least.
All right. I suppose that's something.
There was an issue last week.
Dang it.
Bill, disappointing us all again.
I mean, if you don't have that to look forward to, what do you have to look forward to?
But that is happening tomorrow at your local comic shop. So get in and get yours before the holiday crush comes along. Phil.
I think he's talking to you.
Dreadnought War has been enjoyable. My complaint has been it's not enough war. It's more of a skirmish as they struggle to put away two guys.
To be fair, there's not a lot of dreadnoughts, though.
No, there's a ton of dreadnoughts.
Not enough to fill an entire army.
There is in Energon universe. They got a whole.
They're a vast biker gang.
Yeah, it's a whole squadron of faceless, nameless dreadnoughts out there running around Mad Max style in crazy vehicles. Phil, why don't you tell me what's going on? You haven't even read the books, Phil. Firefly notes that I don't think those are gifts in the holiday border. They're really wide pairs of pants, and now I can't unsee it. Well, it's good they've got the drawstring.
Pants can be gifts.
They're holiday sweatpants.
Your mom got them for you.
How many times has Phil disappoints Mike in our bingo cards? It should just be the center square that marked free space.
Everybody gets it.
War chest full of toys. Feels like Skybound is dragging 2 issues into 3, spacing the story out for no reason. I can see how you'd think that. I kind of like letting the action breathe. These are real kinetic type of books. There's a lot of things to show, so I'm okay with it. I don't think I'd like that. I don't think I'd like it if the book did it all the time, but I think I'm okay with it with the kind of story that they're trying to tell here.
And the bi-weekly publishing schedule kind of makes up for that, too.
I guess. White Mike Vegeta, as impressive as Skybound has been with Cobra Law integrating into Void Rivals, would you want to see another alien like the Lunatics join the Max and get a classified figure? I would not care one way or the other. I would not buy that figure. So
I think Rob just gagged at the thought of that, but
yeah, Rob just had a little bit of a stomach thing there.
I'm fine.
What are
I would love more aliens. Yes, bring them on. I love lunatics. I love manimals. I love the weird stuff. Give me the weird stuff.
Phil in his weird youth. Ragtime Rob, what do you think?
No, I'm out on the Star Brigade.
I don't care if they work them into the story at all, but I've never had the desire to buy those figures for the first 30 years of their existence. I have no desire to pick them up going forward.
I'd sooner see those really short cavemen that used to chase after the adventure team.
Intruders.
Thank you.
I just want more excuses to bring out the armor bot, because that thing's awesome.
Or the Cobra Bat with 2 A's.
Bat.
The sheep bat. That guy made sense. I don't care what your reality is. They're going to make a Cobra Bat, infantry size guy.
The extra A was for awesome.
Battle android, awesome trooper.
Why don't you just make super giant bat?
I mean, it was 1994.
Go fight some artillery. I'm not big on. I don't care much for the mech stuff. So whatever armor bot was, fine.
So why does the snake get a pass?
What makes you think I'm big on the snake?
Everybody seems to be.
How many snakes did Mike buy?
Because they sold out.
No, I had my shot. I didn't care. I didn't need to. I mean, it's cool and all. It's certainly. I think it's an improvement over what it was. But I just didn't.
The original Snake is the dumpiest mech ever.
Yeah.
Worst mech ever.
It was one where, like the in the mass device when we saw them fighting the Joes in the Arctic.
They waddled.
When they waddling around and they had the like one of them had the big triangular 16-ton weight as a weapon. And
He's gonna bonk us.
they had everybody running around with laser rifles except for Flash, who was the laser rifle trooper. He had a flamethrower, and I don't understand. But anyways, to get back to the point, that was still the best representation of the snakes in media right there. And that was terrible. Dustin Jeffrey, in 1994, how did they not get a BAXT Battle Android Extreme Trooper? Good question, man.
Because nobody's afraid of a back.
Firefly notes that it's adorably dumpy. Kinda. It's kinda.
It's held together by a sawhorse.
All the kids in Springfield playing with their little plushy snakes.
Cooter's Garage, what's on Joe Mind? Big on the snake. No. I mean, whatever, but no, I just went out and said no. Maybe Rob is. I don't know.
I kind of like the snake.
Just playing right into his hands.
So when they do the inevitable Blue Snake and Escape Armor variants.
I won't be getting those.
There was every once in a while you see one come across on eBay or something. There was an exclusive they did at Rollout Roll Call a number of years ago, where they did big versions of the snake. They did the red, white, and blue ones. So they were kind of fun. Anyways,
The Python Patrol snake is a funny thing because that thing is not going to be quiet in any way. I hear a giant robot, but I can't see it on my radar.
Shuffling along
slowly.
Where could it be coming from?
Walking like some kind of murderous android dwarf.
Oh. Anyhow.
It's adorable.
Also next week, if you're picking up the trades, Real American Hero trade paperback volume 4, not 20. What I don't know what the 26 is. But anyways, that is reprinting issues 316 through 320. So you can see there the creative team is just how it's been for the entire run. That is also hitting newsstands tomorrow. Or again, hit up your local Barnes and Nobles or what have you, and get that off the rack there.
I've been hearing good things about this company called Borders. Maybe I should look into that.
Little late, man. Little late.
Oh.
They could have used you 6 or 7 years ago.
More than that.
Yeah, it was.
They did, man. I was there all the time. Didn't help.
Your patronage can only balance out so much mismanagement, Phil.
Yeah, apparently.
It's only so far.
There's a Barnes and Noble that has opened up next door to where the Borders used to be. I find that cruel and ironic.
Do we still have that Barnes and Nobles in town, Rob? Is that still open?
Yeah.
All right.
Barnes and Noble is actually doing quite well now, so it's
I never go that way. I don't know.
Yeah, the one in the strip with Best Buy is still there.
They've embraced vinyl, and that seems to have been keeping them afloat.
That
Who
Best
knew?
that Best Buy is depressing.
Yeah.
They're all depressing.
Yeah, that's
Well, they all used to have giant video sections, and then when they decided to get rid of that, they had nothing to put in them.
Yeah, it's,
Mhm.
the last couple times I've been in a Best Buy, the most traffic in the store has been backed by the washing machines, which is not
Is that where the restrooms are?
maybe. I don't know. I just
Yeah, at least the one by us.
I don't know. Ah. Dustin Jeffrey says the media play used to be the place to be. I'll take your word for it. I don't know what that is.
For the 6
I
months.
have not heard of that either. So
I remember them. They lasted about like 6 months.
We had in the town I went to college in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, we used to have a Hastings. They were kind of fun.
there was one I went to occasionally in Boise when I would visit my cousins.
Yeah, Hastings was kind of like if you had a Barnes and Noble in a rundown garage, that was kind of a Hastings.
It was funny because I'd be in there well into the 90s, and they'd still have a copy of G.I. Joe the movie.
My phone's going crazy. Okay. Andrew Galgan notes that for a second I thought that image was Snake Eyes putting on a Christmas sweater. It might as well be.
We could probably make that happen.
Might as well be. But and then taking a look at going forward, also on the 24th, because we won't have a show between now and then. Real American Hero 152, the Hama Files edition. It's happening there. And you can see there writing by Larry Hama. Phil Gauzier was on the pencils for that one. Scott Koblish on inks. I think they farmed out colors to one of those studios like they were doing in the 90s. And this one was called Chi.
Yeah, appropriate for G.I. Joe.
Sure. But this one contains behind-the-scenes facts and special notes from Larry Hama himself. This issue commemorated the 30th anniversary of the original G.I. Joe, so it is a Joe Colton intensive story. And again, that is coming your way on Christmas Eve, on Honcho Day. Again, at your local comic shop. Michael Gene Fleming asks, what would y'all think of holiday-themed Joes like they do with Star Wars? I would think that I would not buy them. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe,
I don't buy the Star Wars ones.
yeah. I mean, what do you have? What's a holiday-themed Joe? Is that just like a Santa hat on Duke? What is that? I don't know.
I'm trying to think where you could even get like the armor pattern down to be like Santa Claus or a snowman or something.
Maybe with the snake armor.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be Santa. It could be like Santa on Futurama.
Yeah.
Or they just make a Santa body and stick a Zartan head on him.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily need anything like that.
On the other hand, if they just reissued previous G.I. Joes and gave them soft goods, ugly Christmas sweaters, I'd be all over that.
Yeah, see that actually has more value to me. Like I'm a sucker for a good repaint, and I'm a sucker for a terrible repaint. But a sucker for a Christmas repaint, I don't know about that. You know, like as is well documented on this program, Sonic Fighters Road Pig is a deep personal favorite of mine. But I don't know I don't know about Christmas themed Road Pig. You'd have to make that pretty ugly for me to really get on there. So Phil, you got to buy this one.
Yeah, it's on my pull list.
All right then. Why am I getting texts now? Why do people want to get a hold of me the one time of the week I'm not available?
No.
What's
I'm
happening
trying to
here?
see how you'll react on live.
We're
I
texting Mike now. See
React
what
by
happens.
turning off my phone.
That'll show him.
Right? The hell out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Ragtime Rob, do you have this one original?
No.
You gonna buy this one?
Maybe.
All right.
I'm surprised you don't have the original.
I mean, this was in the days where, I mean, they were printing like maybe 6 copies of G.I. Joe, so.
I managed to track down a copy.
I think I've got one of these too. I'd have to go look. I have for somebody who does not have a complete run of the Marvel comics, I have a strangely deep run of the late issues.
Let's see.
I'd have to go look.
What is 152? I have the newsstand edition.
Okay. There you go. Phil's got it all cataloged.
League of Comic Geeks. Not a plug.
All right.
The newsstand edition. That means it's got a barcode on it.
Well, in those days, they both had barcodes. It just said direct edition in front of the barcode.
Yeah, that's right. By that point, in the 90s, they had incorporated the barcode into there. Yeah.
So this will actually be a first printing with a picture in it.
Will you organize these HAMA files by issue number or cover date?
If you're doing that, you'd still come out in the same order, wouldn't you?
Well, to this point, sure, but I imagine that the next one will be a number lower than 152.
The previous one
okay.
was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see what he's getting at now.
He's jumping all over the map on those.
They did 26, and now they're doing 152. So the next one is probably not going to be between 153 and 155. It's probably going to be lower than 152. So I
Maybe they're just coming out in the order in which Larry finds his notes for these things.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one.
Well, there wouldn't be any notes for 153 or 154 for Larry because I don't think he wrote those.
I'm pretty sure those are inventory issues that they were just burning off at that point.
Yeah.
they were filler. They were not done by Larry. Got that Scarlet solo story and that Roadblock solo story, and neither of them are terribly good. And yeah. Anyhow, moving forward. Looking at the calendar, you got December 17th there. Also on the 24th is Void Rivals 25. So little Energon universe to keep you going there on Christmas Eve as well.
They're Void Rivals. Tasty, crunchy rhyme. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's been a long week, and it's Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday, guys.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Next news item.
Do.
Oh, he's ran out of battery.
Wow. And again, it's Christmas time. We don't want to kill you with more charity stuff. You're getting that all the time, but we do have the G.I. Joe Funmies. They're out there. You can help Jamie Sullivan with his medical bills. You can help Diana Davis with her or veterinary bills. You can help our pal cousin Kenny with his legal bills. The links to all three of those are in the description down below. So if you got $1, you got $2, you got $5 hanging around, shake out the couch, see what comes out. See if you can help out folks that have done a lot for our wonderful G.I. Joe community this holiday season, as they are just dealing with some deep debt stemming from issues beyond their control. So again, links to all three of them are in the description to the video down below. Next news item. It's your last chance to get in on the What's on Joe Mind swag shop sale for 2025. That is rolling through the 18th. So that's what, tomorrow? Thursday.
Thursday.
That's it. That's it for 2025 on the sale. You can save up to 35% on everything site-wide, from T-shirts to sweatshirts, mugs, magnets, stickers. They got gym shorts. They got throw pillows. They got tote bags. They got all kinds of good stuff. Link, again, is also below in the description. So check that out if you need to get a gift for the What's on Joe Mind fan that has everything except the What's on Joe Mind t-shirt.
Let me know when you guys put out the What's on Joe Mind jorts.
I mean, if only, right?
The dream.
You're just making me sad, Phil. Making me winsome. You make me long for the thing that does not exist. Hit up the swag shop at TeePublic. For every t-shirt you buy, I think we get $2, and we'll probably give that to charity anyway. So think of it that way. That tends to be what we do with these things. We don't actually make money on this stuff. We make enough to cover our expenses, and the rest of it I just kind of get rid of. What can you do?
A wild and hedonistic trip to Vegas.
Right? I know.
Wild and hedonistic trip to Westfield.
I was about to say the biggest donor to the What's on Joe Mind checking account is me. So for whatever people are sending us through our coffee, every month, which is also down below. Where if you decide to support us on a monthly basis, we will get your name in our credits on every episode. But for all the folks give us through that, the biggest donor is still me. So I don't spend the What's on Joe Mind fund on non-show things. Like I don't take it and go on a personal, buying, spending frenzy.
You just said too much.
I've said too much. But that, and it's partially because it's not possible, and also because we got to have some integrity around here. But anyways, t-shirts, 35% off through Thursday. Follow the link. Next news item. For those days when we don't have a show, you can get your news from surveillanceport.com, just like me. Now that I've typed it in a couple times, the computer fills it in for me when I get started. So I just type in SUR and it fills in the rest. Surveillance-port.com. You may want to take a screen cap so you can spell it right later. Surveillance-port.com for all your G.I. Joe news. Plus, Eric takes you around the community a little bit. You'll get some toy photography. You get some review videos from folks that aren't What's on Joe Mind, which is fine because we don't do reviews on this channel. Lord knows I don't have. Can you imagine, Rob? I can't imagine having the time.
This is a beachhead. He has a green head and brown camouflage pants.
And I'm going to put him over here next to his 200 brothers.
Doing the ASMR tapping of the thing.
Michael Dean Fleming asking, Operation Recall shipping doesn't rate the... I mean, no. We knew it was coming. It's great. I was going to talk about it in what we got in. But,
Did you get something in?
I did. I got some Operation Recall.
I got nothing.
I haven't opened it yet. Because it's been that kind of there was a lot of prep work this week. So I haven't had a chance to do fun things yet. Robert Strebin, welcome to the show, Robert. What do you think of an Order of Battle, Cobra and Joe's, but Real American Hero file cards version of a comics? I don't quite understand the question.
That's
I
kind of
think
what Order of
I
Battle
think that was the Order of Battle.
Yeah, that pretty much was Order of Battle. So I don't know what you're driving at with that, but
More clarification, please.
yeah, if you want to take another crack at that one, we'll be happy to answer that for you. War chest full of toys. Thought that money was for the strip club. I ain't got the energy for the strip club anymore, man. That just
You have to go to the bank and then withdraw everything into singles.
right.
And then you got to take the paper wrapper off the singles.
I'm a lot of things, and I'm not saying I don't have my faults, but I've never been strip club guy. I don't know. It's just a lot of energy for not a lot of payoff.
Well, what if they had a nice buffet?
I can see naked people at home. I don't need to go to it.
What if they had a nice buffet?
Rob, put some pants on.
Get that bacon.
The breakfast buffet like on Parks and Rec. But yeah, I can see naked people at home. I don't need to go out for that.
This is the worst version of the Sixth Sense ever.
Last time I was in a strip joint, I was in New Orleans and I got kicked. So there's Joe Con stories of years gone by.
2012.
I got kicked.
Honest to God, truth. Yeah. Roger Taft was there.
Why did Gary kick you?
Gary didn't kick me. Gary had Debbie around. He wasn't allowed to go. Week after week, I've been waiting for review segments, and they don't exist the whole time. That's right. We just been pulling you along, yanking that chain.
Stay tuned next week for our review of a toy.
Maybe.
If we have time.
Next news item.
Let's get on to this fiasco. I have to have my wits about me tomorrow.
I just said next news item.
Dude.
Pay attention, man. Yeah, Joe 3D Printing Podcast. Happy to present Chonky Tank. It in his Meowler Tank. The boys are back. Last couple of weeks, they've done episodes on consecutive Sundays now. I don't know what their holiday schedule is, but just keep an eye out. We do have them linked up on our channel page, so be sure to subscribe to the GI Joe 3D Printing Podcast and tune in for updates from Mike and Mark and Artwan as they take you through the world of GI Joe 3D printing.
Ooh.
Greg Augustin says that review segments are not on Joe Mind.
No. I loved it. Much better than Cats. I'll pose it again and again.
Right. Right. I just like, and I don't have a problem with other people doing those.
Yeah,
but,
no, that's fine. Yeah.
Right. I'll enjoy one from time to time. Our good friend Brian did a whole channel of review videos, but
I watched his on a regular basis.
Right. He had a flair for them. He was able to make them creative. I would pick up a figure and be like, this is great for 3 minutes, and then put it down, and that would be the end of it. Whereas he had the ability to make 12 and 15-minute type comedy things around his reviews, and they worked. They were excellent, but it's just not a talent that I have. Robert Streben, the file cards of the toys is what I meant. Excuse me. But I bet you're right. I guess you're right. But also with new versions of classified figures in Skybound. Yeah. I mean, I think that would fill a need. I think there's a lot of folks out there that have a lot of questions because, say, a figure will come out in the classified line that they, did not happen when they were a kid. Or didn't happen for them when they were a kid, and they have questions, and the classified figures offer no explanation as to what's going on with that particular character.
But if you go to
like
GI Joe
2 or 3 file cards.
So
every once in a while we get a file card released to Instagram, but it's few and far between.
Right. Greg Augustin says, I wish there was a file card book out there. Greg, so do I. somebody should get on that.
If
Greg
only
has
somebody would.
Greg has authored a couple. So head over to afteractionreport.net and check out Greg's books, and they'll help you out with something like that.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I mean, they did 6 weeks previous, so I figure we can throw one in for free. I don't have the crazy in need of a graphic designer slide handy, but it's there. And when we come back, we're going to have a brief delay as we hear from our sponsors. But when we come back, we're going to find out exactly why this was the most requested episode in the history of the show. Right after this. Got to get to my buttons.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
Had to get rid of the border because we can't have that in the way. We have to keep this a little bit more timeless. We can't have reindeer kicking Rob in the head. But the main event tonight, the show that you've been begging for Lord knows over a year now, the definitive G.I. Joe character tier list for 1992. That's right, we're finally doing it. Here. There it is. Bang. So glad that nobody showed up live for this one. I guess they'll just have to catch the recording.
Oh my!
We appreciate those of you that did, because you're finally here to see us break the drought.
Spoilers, we don't like them. No.
1993 will have to be spread out over a series of 5 episodes.
See, there it is. There's Nowhere Man-Child. Gasp! That's correct.
Only one exclamation point. I think we can do better than that.
Yeah.
Look, man, he was busy gasping. I don't. If he was hitting more exclamation points, he probably would have passed out. Joe Fan 84, yay, just in time. Andrew Gaugan has fainted.
Oh,
Please, someone revive Andrew.
Dominic Johnson, oh my God, my Christmas dreams have come alive. There, exactly. That's what we're at. So we're at. Excuse me. So let's get the old tier list up there. Now, mind you, you'll notice I've got some changes to the thumbnails, and that's partially because the photography for 1992. Because normally what we do, I borrow the thumbnails, I borrow the images of the figures from 3D Joe's and from yojo.com. In both cases, those are usually done by Phil at some point along the way. But in 92, not all of them really have particularly good figure headshots. So I went with the file card artwork, and I'm also not familiar enough with these guys to necessarily pull out 43 of them in my drug-addled state the way that I am. So I put their names on it this time. And that's really funny with Ace, because my God, look at that. That's like
Ace.
That's like 72.10.
Ace.
There's other guys out there that got names that are 13 letters long. You can barely read them. We got a good looking Ace. To reframe this for everybody who maybe is new and has not checked out the previous editions of Definitive, we are going through the figure catalog for 1992. The rankings that we apply to these figures are not necessarily a reflection of how much we like those figures. This is about the impact that they made on the line as a whole. And so you're going to hear me say in a couple of cases here, I really like this figure, and then put them on the private line. We may do rankings later on. We've still got those in the back pocket for later, but this is more about the overall impact and importance to the G.I. Joe mythology as a whole. So we're trying to do something a little bit more than, do you like this guy, in this particular version of the tier list. So bear with us again if it's the first time. Eventually you'll figure out. So we will start off with Ace. Ace was, of course, the first pilot for the Joe team, first jet pilot, premiered back in 1983. This is the second version of him.
Yep, battlecopter release.
Yeah, so naturally, he's got a helicopter backpack.
Right, they put him on a helicopter backpack because he flies jets. It's a good figure. It looks more like a pilot than the first guy did.
Yeah, it's pretty era accurate for a pilot uniform than the U2 take that the original figure has.
Yeah, it was the pseudo astronaut look that they gave him.
Yeah,
it's an extreme pressure suit, which is exactly that would be flying in something like a U2 or an SR-71.
So for what it's worth, I actually like the design of this figure a little bit better, but it made very little impact in regards to what the character is, or even then they redid this figure the next year. They just immediately put out a repaint in 1993.
I honestly don't know if he ever even appeared anywhere outside the toy line in this look.
Yeah. So Ace in this particular garb, 1992 Ace. I'm trying to use the wrong screen. Okay. All right. I'm not used to having two monitors for these. And back in back in olden times when we were doing the tier list, I only had the one monitor, so it was a lot easier for me to figure out because I'm not bright and I'm on cold medicine.
Did you also tie an onion to your belt?
Oh, I wish. If it would clear out the stuff out of my sinuses, I'd do it. But in the meantime, while we try and figure out home cures, I'm going to go ahead and put Ace right there on the bottom line. 92 Ace is a private.
Did you know this thing is, if you look at the file card for Ace, it is all sorts of messed up.
Yeah, the helmet's totally wrong.
There's a lot wrong with the 92 file cards. They were really trying to lean into making things extreme.
Well, his file name is now Wendell L. Armbruster, and he's from Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, he's funky.
Wendell.
Yeah.
Yes. Battlecopter pilot, primary specialty, second military ordnance officer.
Then we move to number 2, the Air Devil. Air Devil is one of the air commandos, meaning he had a glider backpack. Of note, simply the battlecopters and the air commandos are considered the only vehicle drivers from 1992. A lot of the file cards would try and give everybody a vehicle specialty. If you read the text, they would say, "Oh, well, they're often seen riding into battle on the G.I. Joe pincushion, or whatever it is."
The Cobra calculator.
Right. So the Air Devil and Spirit were the air commandos. Ace and the Heliviper were the battlecopter pilots. Yeah. They were technically the only vehicle drivers from 1992. That said, Air Devil and his weird welder mask are joining Ace in the private line. What the hell is an Air Devil?
Why does he have goggles underneath his mask?
Believe it was a 90s model of vacuum, but anyway.
That's a Dirt Devil. Dirt Devil.
Yeah,
I think they had like an Air Devil. It was like one of their little handhelds or something.
That's they're good stuff though. They really get the dust up. Any arguments on Air Devil, gentlemen?
Nope.
I know Phil.
I'm struggling to remember him being anywhere as well.
I know he's one of your favorites, Phil.
I don't think I even bought him until sometime in the 2010s.
Next up is Barbecue.
Ugh.
And Barbecue is
Eco Warriors, baby.
he's part of the Eco Warriors line. And my statement on Barbecue is there are a lot of familiar names in 1992. There's a lot of guys that got a second version or a third version or what have you. And in very, very few circumstances are these versions of those characters anything of note. Like with Barbecue here, it's interesting that he got this high-tech upgrade, and then the next time we saw Barbecue, he was right back to how he looked in 1985.
I think he appears in like one page of a Marvel comic in this costume, and that's it.
Yeah, this is the speed bump on the way to the definitive version of the character. So I'm just going to go ahead and put him with his friends on the private line.
This figure's a turd.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just not Barbecue. Like it's something, but to try and say that it's somebody new and
he's red, ain't he?
Just no note to the original one, just kind of.
It's a stinker, I tell you, a stinker.
Yeah, Michael Gene Fleming noting he remembers Overkill was listed on the file card as operating the Earthquake, which bothered 7-year-old him as he couldn't fit in it. There it is.
That sounds like 1992 Hasbro.
Yeah, that's about right.
Is this the same year that gave us the Desert Apache that no figure could fit in?
Yep,
yeah, that's correct. Up next, we get Barricade. Yeah, Barricade's got his fun RoboCop helmet, but he's actually a new character. First off, so that's unusual. Second, he has an actual purpose. But I would argue that that's about where it stops with him.
Yeah,
we've never seen any meaningful media concerning Barricade ever.
He is a non-entity.
Racktime Rob, I know you're a big Barricade guy.
No, I'm not.
Oh wait, no, you aren't. So I'm gonna go ahead and just
leave him alone patrolling the streets of Detroit.
Just pop him on over there. Maybe he can save the Lions this season. Maybe he can get them in the playoffs. I don't know. But he is.
He can go back to hanging out with whichever Image Comics team that spawned him.
Oh, come on now.
No, he doesn't have enough.
Let's not say things we can't take back.
He doesn't have enough pouches.
That's true. Like I said, he at least had a purpose. There was a point to Barricade.
Yeah. Like I said, he was a demolitions expert, taking out enemy fortifications.
He would have worked better on DEF, honestly.
Yeah. And but here too, he was another guy who got a repaint the very next year. So
half these.
This is the better figure,
right?
Yes,
it is. The next year was kind of pink. That brings us to Big Bear, a member of the October Guard who was not really in the October Guard, if you follow the comic books.
He did appear in the D cartoon, though, but for some reason he was only ever called Captain Kremov. They never called him Big Bear.
Right. He got the funky handle and yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put him with everybody else.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Look, I warned everybody. There's a reason why this was the most requested episode. It's because I really didn't want to do it. Because I knew there was going to be a half dozen of these that got off the private line. And I have a feeling it's going to work out that way.
Half dozen out of 4 dozen figures.
Out of almost 4 dozen entries. And so that makes for a long episode. but that's what everybody wanted. I was not making it up when I said it's the most requested. Just random shouts on social media, emails, instant messages. Hey,
Patrick, correcting my misinformation as always. Thank you.
Oh, well, I mean, we need Pat for a show like this. We need Pat.
Yes.
Cream
Up with red stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking that. So I was like, wait a minute, he's not a captain.
Way to go, Phil. Way to bring us, Phil. Way to go, Phil.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I mean,
not.
this is at least a decent figure.
Right. And I'll give credit to all of the, like, 92, if you're looking at just figures, so long as you're not getting one of the weird repaint guys like Hella Viper. There's a lot of good figures in 1992. But they didn't hang around a real long time or do anything real significant while they were here. But Big Bear is a fun figure. Shame they didn't put anything behind it.
Who also got a repaint the next year.
Yep. Up next, we move into DEF with their leader, Bulletproof.
And his microphone, you lost 30 seconds after removing him from package.
Right, immediately. Pre-lost, I believe is the term. This is a guy who I will take him off the private line. He'll be the first guy off the private line. But not much more. He's a corporal. He's kind of he had his run in the comics. He had his run in the Deke cartoon. He has kind of stayed. He's one of the guys that people remember.
We got an FSS figure.
Right,
so
right.
That has to rate something there. Like people cared about it enough.
Managed to hang around in the consciousness a little bit, which when you think of a lot of these guys is special. I'll throw this over to you, Racktime Rob. Bulletproof on the corporal line.
Yeah, not much more than that. Yeah.
I wouldn't say any more than that.
Yeah.
How about you, Phil?
I'm good with corporal, yeah.
All right. There it is, folks. There I am trying to put it on the wrong screen again. Over the left monitor. There he is. There's the first one.
Hey.
He's hyphenated. He's large and he's in charge. It's Bulletproof and he's a corporal.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, hey, is this Bulletproof from Cops?
No. He had that kind of weird, like it was brown and green, or green with brown, but it was an urban camo print. Like he had a real weird uniform, I thought. Like
It was
kind of like he had like T squares, in print.
It's covered in L's.
He had the Tetris camo, but he had them in woodland colors, despite being on DEF, and that he was kind of funny.
Which would normally imply a more urban environment.
You'd think. Next up, we got Cobra Commander. This is from he is one of the talking commanders.
Talking battle commanders.
Thank you. The talking battle commanders, Phil. It's kind of a return to form for Cobra Commander. They kind of got him back in his more familiar hooded garb. It's a bit of an update.
I'd actually argue this is taking a design that's existed since the first issue of the Marvel comic and making it a figure. And so it's definitely more comic accurate than the original hooded Cobra Commander was in the comics, at least. So I think it's actually pretty important as figures go. But,
all right. How about you, Racktime Rob? What do you think?
I think it's more important a year later when they take that backpack off and just sell it as a single figure. But yeah, but I mean that design, like I said, that's kind of the Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe #1. Yeah.
So Phil, you drew the line in the sand, Phil. What line am I putting him on?
Honestly, I might put him at Major.
Really?
It's a design that's existed for 10 years at that point, and then gets a prominent feature in the comic again, and shows up in Deke.
I think you put it higher. It's Cobra Commander.
I didn't want to push it with General, but yeah, straight to the top, baby.
mean, Phil, we're hurting here. Come on.
I mean, the only thing that I think would keep it from, being made is the fact it's got the
Is the
dopey,
backpack not being
puffy
removable?
backpack.
Yeah, but
hey, have screwdriver will travel.
Yeah, exactly. You can take it off.
it's these dizzying heights. Somebody got the hammer and the bell thing again at the.
Well, regardless, you two guys both said general, so I'm not gonna balance that out. It's a general.
Yay!
Look at that. That's more than I expected out of 1992 right there. Up next.
And back to the bottom.
It's Magnum PI. I mean, it's Cutter.
This would be much higher if it were Magnum PI.
Right? It'd be awesome. I like this Cutter, but it buff sleeveless Cutter did not hang around.
In a puffer jacket.
Yeah, in a puffy vest. So he's kind of in the same boat that Ace and Barbecue are, and that he's a character we recognize in a suit that we don't recognize him in.
But he comes
Although
with a baton that
is
you can
more
stick on his leg.
recognizable than the other two.
He's a little close. We hit some more of the same notes, but they didn't even give him his Boston hat, which is actually a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
but it seems against type.
the Boston hat initially was against type. He's from Nebraska.
Right. Andrew Galgan says, is that a mustache ride? Yes, it is, sir. Bang. Doug Dello asked, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? You missed a whole lot of privates. Which sounds a lot more interesting than it really is.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Right. Job along in Toy City. Wrapping it up nicely. You missed 1982 to 91. Not 1992 now. That could be our statement of the show right there. That could be live comment of the day. Well done, sir. That's a level of sarcasm I wish I had all the time. Up next is Deep Six, another from the Eco Warrior line.
Now, this is a weird one because in terms of impact in fiction, nothing. Like, I don't think he ever shows up in this costume. In terms of impact on the fandom, though, this is kind of an infamous figure, if only for what he didn't come with. And, the years of the killer whale Deep Six being attention pouring onto this one particular figure.
Why don't you go ahead and give the nickel tour to the folks that don't know what you're talking about, Phil?
Oh, well, if you want the long story, we've got a video on my channel called Articulated Points that goes in depth into the Eco Warriors history. But long story short, originally the plan was for this water squirting dolphin that Deep Six is packed with to be a different color scheme, and in fact a killer whale, a different mold altogether. But of course, the killer whale is woefully out of scale to the Deep Six figure he came with, so it was changed to a dolphin, although initial releases, test packaging still put the killer whale deco on the dolphin body. And that has become something of an infamous rarity amongst higher-end G.I. Joe collectors.
There you go. And the dolphin's name?
Finback.
Finback. That said, I'm going to give you the equivalent of cool story, bro. Because, again, he made no impact on the mythology dress. Like, what do we know Deep Six for? We know him from being the sardonic guy on the cartoon, and being the worst figure in the history of the line in 1984. And Yeah. Like nobody remembers this guy. So, except for a few high-end collectors, he's got the same problem as Barbecue and Cutter and Ace. He's gonna go right here. He's good to see you. Glad you're staying active and keeping in shape, but okay. Any arguments?
No.
Phil, you sound like you're holding back.
I might like to see him at Corporal, but I'm not going to fight you guys on that. If I'm outvoted, I'm outvoted.
That's right, you're a bum.
Oh.
Up next. Excuse me. Up next is Destro. This figure is I know I've gone to bat for a lot of the figures from 1992 to this point. I am not going to do that for Destro. Destro is basically the same. It is an updated version of his 1983 look, only done worse.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And
I think, though, it's the first figure that actually gives him a color like he's always been displayed as. Whether or not you appreciate it or not, you have to acknowledge that.
And it's also something that probably works a little bit better in the comic and cartoon than it does on an action figure.
I don't understand the point of this Destro.
It's for long flights across country when he wants to take a nap.
And
it's a built-in neck pillow.
Like, I don't even understand the attempt here. Like, if you're just gonna
Mae West Destro.
Yeah. So, like, I'm kind of torn because it's a redo of his iconic 1983, but is he going down here like the rest of them?
It's too much.
I don't know, because he was in the cartoon, he was in the comics like that. Maybe I would push for Corporal, but not much higher.
I mean, if it's because it's Corporal, it's because he's Destro.
Well, yeah, big important character. Yeah, Maurice LaMarche Destro.
Eventually, I mean, he was the Maurice LaMarche Destro as Iron Grenadier's Destro, though,
and then, through 92.
And then they eventually moved him back to this, but all right, it's Destro. All right.
I'm not going to argue he's Sergeant or anything. I'm just saying he had enough of an impact that he shows up.
I guess. I'm just saying that's more because of what he looked like in 1983, and less because of what he looked like, because that was the same as what they were trying to make him look in 1992.
Yeah, really.
It's just a redo, and a bad redo at that. But whatever, we'll put him on the Corporal line. It's fine.
He doesn't get his missile firing gloves.
It's them understanding the mistake they made by moving him off of his classic togs.
Bringing back the silver, but not the chrome.
Michael Gene Fleming, he's a lot buffer than 1983. Yeah, but he's got a lot smaller head.
Yeah, he's too buff.
Todd Ratchford, I just tuned in. Did I hear somebody mention privates? You're in the right place, soldier.
Boy, howdy.
You're in the right place, soldier.
Privates as far as the eye can see.
We're gonna get demonetized.
It hadn't happened yet, so
we'll just blur it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. We'll fix it in post. Sorry, I'm going through live chat a little bit here. What are the chances of getting Killer Whale fin back? Small. You mean in classified? Very small. You mean in terms of finding the 1992 one? Extremely small.
Wait for somebody who already has one to die, and then try and buy it off their widow.
Right. Provided it hasn't disintegrated, which some of them apparently have done. Yeah, they weren't building these things thinking they're going to last 100 years, folks. I mean, as it is, they made pretty sturdy toys, and that's cool and all. But anyways, moving forward, We're into the D's. Up next is Dice, or as if you want to pronounce it Hispanically, Dice. And we got a guy who is definitely not a private, which is a rarity. Hey. That said, Dice has a lot of name recognition because he's got a partner with a theme nickname. And they had a little bit of a run in the comics back in the day, and they appeared on the Deke cartoon once or twice. They weren't real prominent there.
In the cartoons they appeared and they were prominent, though.
They kind of became the de facto Cobra Ninjas after Storm Shadow moved on. So, you know.
Yeah, but how
like
often?
A lot of people know who they are.
Yeah. Again, I'm not trying to dismiss Dice here. I'm not.
Yeah.
But you know, he's that corporal sergeant neighborhood. I'm
good with corporal.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking he is. If we look back, there's a lot of those. You know, in the earlier runs, a lot of those guys that got one episode of the cartoon, they were corporals. You know, Flash was a corporal because they had Operation Mind Menace, and past that he didn't have a whole lot. That's kind of where Dice falls for me. We caught a little bit of him, and you guys aren't even arguing with me, so I'm just going to stop arguing with myself and just we'll move on.
Corporal.
Yeah.
Up next, a man with a luxurious...
I mean, you might as well just move Slice up there now, too, so, you know.
Right.
In due time, Rob. In due time.
Because they're a set. They come as a set.
If we're going to do it properly, his name is Sliche.
Sliche and Dice. They're a pair.
Sliche.
They're the Cobra Ninja Bert and Ernie's.
Arriba!
Heterosexual life partners.
Up next is Dojo, the man with the most luxurious ponytail on the line. Or at least this
he
side.
should be giving out the mustache rides.
This side of Zanzibar. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop him right on the private line.
Yeah, done.
Yep.
There's no...
Ninja Force blows. All right.
I just... you could tell that Larry Hama was not necessarily writing file cards at that point, because all these Ninja Force guys are white dudes. Not to be, you know, but come on, like nobody.
I don't think Dojo was, but the other guys sure were.
Yeah, nobody's.
I think Dojo was Italian.
Yeah, he was.
Let me check.
Patrick Stewart says that Dice was temporarily replaced by Slash, so not as important as Slice.
Oh yeah, Michael P. Russo. There we go.
Yeah, just
his brother Daniel was more popular.
Just a bunch of white dudes, and
yeah,
of course
Of course, he would go on to help co-direct the #1 box office smash hit, Avengers Endgame. So.
Yeah, true. There's those Russos too. Yeah.
But all right, so that brings us to Duke, and Duke is a guy who he's Duke.
He comes with a literal crotch rocket.
Right, Duke and his riding cannon is one of the greatest things in the history of the G.I. Joe line, the vintage line.
He was in the cartoon. Rocket. He was in the comics.
Look, Duke,
briefer in the comics and the cartoon, but Duke, also featured in the commercials.
Yeah, Duke was the focus of all of G.I. Joe media the last few years of it. I dare say Duke is pretty high. Partially because he's Duke, and partially because they put this version of Duke to work.
He got his own pinup in the comics.
I would say if we're going to put Cobra Commander on the general line, I mean, Duke is probably a major.
Yeah, he's not as prominent as Cobra Commander's look there, but yeah, high up there. Definitely the face of G.I. Joe for 92.
Right, and I think what hurts Duke ultimately from being up here, what keeps Duke on the major line is that after G.I. Joe went away for a while and then came back, we went back to 84 Duke. Right.
Which I think is a crime that we only go to the first looks, because 92, 93 Duke, those are great looks for him. They should be featured more often.
Yeah, it's
not bad. Yeah,
it's still red.
Well, yeah, but Battle Corps Duke, on the other hand, that's pure like 90s military.
Yeah, bad figure, but good design. So yeah, I know I got Duke as a major. I don't feel bad about that one. And you guys agree?
Yes.
All right, that brings us to the Cobra Eel version 2, with my favorite, his sidekick Shark Chompy. As much as I like Chompy, good to see you, Cobra Eel. Glad you're keeping in shape. You're a private.
That was a figure I did update on the WOJO archives back in the day, and I went through the Deke cartoons trying to find a screenshot of Eel in this costume, and I don't think I ever found one. I don't think it showed up even in the underwater episode from 1992.
Well, I mean, I don't think they were producing in 1992 anymore.
That's when the season ended. It went 91, 92.
Like I think some of the guys who were maybe earlier on the production board got into those episodes, and I think a lot of the 92 guys did not. And I think Cobra Eel might have just fallen on the wrong side of that line.
It's a pity.
I don't remember seeing him either. Anyway,
Again, better than his repaint.
yeah. And the repaint didn't come with Chompy. So the
No,
repaint
it's automatic 10-point deduction.
Yeah, like 93 Eel is garbage. So if we might have to go sub-private on that one.
Yeah.
But Cobra Eel version 2, I kind of like
Raw
the version.
fruit.
It doesn't say Cobra Eel, but it's a cool figure. If you're looking for a science fiction-y kind of soldier diver guy, he's pretty cool. But yeah. Moving on to Firefly version 2, the neon green version.
Ugh.
As much as people hate the design, I think you can't ignore the big impact he had on the comics at the time.
Yeah, good mold, bad colors. If we're just looking to get the figure out of the way, and yeah, they for whatever reason they decided that Firefly was going to be a big part of the comic book around this time, and
they finally revealed his face as the most generic white guy you know.
Besides Ninja Force,
that was probably interesting enough. He's in the same story. But that was probably all Andrew Wildman could pull off anyway. So anyway,
yeah, maybe Andrew Wildman was not far along in his career at that point. But yeah,
Master
Firefly, and being a kind of a legacy character, kind of a prestige character. Even though his run on the comics as a main character was not really well received, I think Firefly may be the one guy that just splits this one down the middle. I think Firefly goes right here. You guys see that or no?
That's actually generous. I was just going to give him Corporal, but
yeah, that's what I was going to do too.
All right, then down here he goes, next to DJ.
Jake Bat's comment just makes me laugh.
Jake Rhodes. I liked Andrew Wildman. He was so ethically 90s, cool with a K.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
I'm not sure either. I don't know what ethically 90s is either, but
maybe aesthetically 90s.
Wow. I kind of like ethically 90s. Dave McDonald, this is the most spotlight Firefly ever got in the comics. I like when they captured Firefly, they let him keep his grenades for some reason.
They're purely decorative, ornamental grenades, really.
Right.
These are Christmas tree ornaments.
Doug Dello could not buy into Faceless Master. I think a lot of folks could not buy into Faceless Master. things were getting a little messy in the comic at that point.
I did like the explanation
He just
Larry
happened to
gave
move
for how
when
he
clicked the
appeared without a
credit,
face
yeah.
in the pictures. He just turned his head when they took the picture.
Yeah, it just I think we just it became a bit of a race for Larry to hit his deadlines and keep himself interested. So
I
moving forward.
appreciated that they made sort of a second generation Cobra hierarchy there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you had to, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so many of the guys that had been leaned on for so long had disappeared from toy shelves, and so they were told to be de-emphasized. So you got to replace those guys with somebody. Might as well be Firefly.
He's also giving them like happy endings, like Destro and Baroness moving off into retirement.
Sometimes it works out that way.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Moving for the Flak Viper. He is one of the least heralded and least thought of the Cobra army builders. Phil, do you know anybody with a Flak Viper army?
I have a red one and a blue one. Does that count?
As much as it does for anybody else.
There's 2 rockets that don't point up; they just shoot outward.
They just.
You better hope you're standing at a 45-degree angle.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna throw him on the bottom
He's
line.
real dangerous on the peripherals, but
Yeah.
Let's hope those are heat-seeking missiles, because they're not gonna go where he's looking at. Moving on to General Flag. Now, if this was real General Flag, I'd have nothing but good things to say. But this is
Nice.
attempt to retcon in General Flag's son, who's also a General Flag. And I couldn't handle this. Even in 1992, I wasn't even collecting the toys at that point.
This doesn't work.
My
he
black
purely exists to frustrate the Ojo numbering system.
Yeah, my blackened teenage heart screamed poser, and I'm gonna stick to it here. That little bastard was right once in a while, and I'm just gonna put him on the private line because meh.
He also
Yeah, no,
stole
that's-
Hawk's look.
Yeah, there's just nothing original about that guy at all.
Yeah, General Flag, who would basically, when the comic started, was said to be a young general, somehow has a son who's also a general.
Look, there was shore leave. He got drunk.
No, it's stupid.
He was a private with nowhere to go.
It's dumb.
I think Rob. I think Phil is making a joke, Rob.
I know, but it's too dumb to joke about. It's just dumb. It's stupid.
Which brings us to the real General Hawk.
General Flag is stupid.
That General
This
Flag
one.
is stupid. General Flag the Third. He's a dummy.
You dummy.
That's right, Patrick.
That's right.
Yes.
Patrick with the Lawrence J. Flagg had a son and named him James Longstreet Flagg the Third. Again, nothing about this is good or makes sense. It's just a rare, complete fail.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
I mean, there could have been people, up the line, great grandfather or something like that had that name and not.
Not a bad figure. Like if they had made that as a different character, I'd have probably been okay with it. But
If they made it Hawk,
they tried to, well, sure, but they tried to repurpose that into General Flag. No, I don't think so. Besides, we already had Cool Shades Hawk,
that's right.
and this is Talking Battle Commander Hawk. Cool figure. I don't think it's a bad look for Hawk. It's something different. But
Where Manchild points out he did have a prominent position in the second Nintendo game.
Yeah, I mean, sure, great.
He was in the Deke cartoon. I don't think he ever appeared in the comics like this, though, which I think is a missed opportunity. But
I don't think so either. But he showed up enough, and he was an important character. And
I think in the comics he just kept right on trucking through with his 86 look, didn't he?
I
Yeah.
guess.
They only reluctantly gave him brown hair around this time.
So I find myself kind of straddling the Sergeant Corporal line. Phil, what do you think?
Corporal, then, because again, not appearing in the comics, I think is a big thing for this period too.
How about you, Rob?
Exactly. It is a corporal.
All right. I tend to lean the other way, but I'm not going to balance out both of you. I tend to think appearing on the show, on the cartoon, even though it was the Deke cartoon and not as good as the Sunbow cartoon by most people's estimation, that was still a lot more people seeing him than reading the comic. But again, if both of you go that way, I'll go with it. Coming up next is Gung Ho in his Rambo gear. I know I have often gone on record saying Gung Ho needs a redesign, but man, this wasn't it.
No.
It's probably his most practical look, but it's also his most boring.
Yeah. We moved on from this pretty quickly. Like the next time we saw Gung Ho, he was back in his 83 look, and every design of him since has been based on that original one in some way, shape, or form. And this has just kind of been forgotten. Headband Gung Ho has just been like, that's his prom picture when he's got his teased out, his proverbial teased out hair. Just nobody talks about it. Look at you, look at the headband. And then they flip the page and everybody forgets. So I'm just going to go ahead and include Gung Ho with the list of good to see you guys from 1992. Glad we're keeping the lights on, carrying the torch for all the other old guys. But yeah. Up next are the Headhunters, and they're cool looking. They're as 90s as you can get. Can't say that people really remember them for much, other than being Headman's dudes. Army Builders. There were none of them that ever got any kind of personality, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop them right there.
Stole Cobra Commander's look too.
Army Builders tend not to do well in the definitive tier lists. They're a tough sell because they don't have they're just there. You don't have a personality simply by being thousands of you.
They're fodder, it's not like, yeah. Unless they're just like something where it just grabs you, like, an Imperial Stormtrooper or the Cobra Trooper,
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to get caught up. Next up is definitely not a private. But we got Headman.
Had a big story arc in the comics. Had a big two-parter in Deke.
Right.
Hard to ignore.
I dare say he had the big two-parter in Deke. I dare say that those Headman episodes are the only thing people remember about Deke in a lot of cases. There is mainstream. There is a moment where he touched the mainstream. Okay. And that's pretty rarefied air.
Yes, sir. Especially for 92.
Especially when the line is kind of making a turn downward. I think Headman is a major.
Now, I don't know if I'd go that necessarily high. Sergeant for sure.
I think a sergeant, yeah.
We're just arguing with you to argue. It's more, yeah, he appears, he even gets a prominent role in the cartoon, in the commercial for DEF, but like beyond that, it's the DEF who gets the merchandise and the likenesses, not Headman. But I see where you're coming from. I respect your opinion.
I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the sergeant line. But still, think about that. That's still better than anybody else off of this line. He had 2 appearances.
Yeah, he's in the top 3.
He's the only original character in the top 3.
Up next is the Heliviper. I'm just going to go ahead. He is the turd of 1992. I kind of like the figure. It's so ugly.
He gave kids an excuse to say hell.
Oh. And usually that was because it was, oh, hell, it's the Heliviper.
Oh, Heliviper, Mom. I said Heliviper.
Aunt Judy got me the Heliviper. Damn it to hell.
I do appreciate that he can hold his rifle while strapped to a battle copter.
Right? It would just yeah. Heliviper. Again, he's so ugly that I kind of like him. But he's terrible. And he made absolutely no impact. Next up, we got talking battle commander Falcon or whatever. Is that right?
Supersonic fighters.
Supersonic fighter Falcon. That's right. These guys have interesting thumbnails because their heads are all huge on the file cards. So you can see Falcon there. Like half of this graphic is just his mouth flapping in the breeze.
I like how he could have come with a battlecopter given his backpack, but he isn't in a battlecopter.
Right. He this is the Falcon that got addicted to drugs.
It is. It is not Don Johnson, though.
It is not Don Johnson.
That is John Johnson.
That is the only notable thing about him. I don't think the comics ever went to this outfit.
Nope.
For him. Because why mess with success, right? Like Falcon's one of the best looking dudes in the entire line history. Full stop. What I'm kind of inclined to put him on the hey, good to see you, nice togs, instantly forgotten group down at the bottom.
This looks like Falcon in his pajamas. I mean, it's just.
But I mean, am I wrong? Like if we're doing this for Deep Six and barbecue and gung ho and it's kind of Falcon too, isn't it?
Yeah.
He did get a storyline at least in Deke, but yeah,
right.
He didn't appear in the comics, so that's got to take out points.
He showed up, but a lot of them showed up. Big deal. Anyways, moving on. Major Blood. He got spiffy new blue and yellow togs.
He was there in the cartoon. He didn't really do much, but he was there.
Littered with grenades, Major Blood.
This is that figure, yes. Even when that figure got redone, they put him back in the brown and black color motif. So I tend to think that this guy is in the hey, nice to see you, Major Blood. How's the wife and kids?
Yeah, that's an interesting backpack you've got there.
Yeah, just not moving.
That's what Hawk said.
Just not moving the needle. Mutton Junkyard. I like the design on these figures.
Sure. Yeah, they're great looking guys.
Great looking dude. Colors were weird, and we moved away from it instantly. Right?
Private.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Now we got
it could have just as easily been Law and Order or somebody else with a dog. You know.
Right. Could have been George and Astro. It would have worked out the same. Ninja Viper. I love the Ninja Viper, but he is the very peak of obscurity.
And I hate how his file card messes up his mask. The figure was right there. Like it's not like they changed it.
Major Blood appeared in the Deke episode, The Chunnel, and we're not going to hold that against him.
So did the Queen.
Lieutenant Falcon.
And her dogs.
I sent that mud up in a model rocket, and his parachute caught the wind, and he was gone.
Freedom! Precious freedom!
Oh, I missed one from Michael Gene Fleming. Doesn't affect the rating, but if you stick the Heliviper and the Fang 2, they look like they were made for each other. Oh, you know what? Once I get a Fang 2, I will try that.
With his exposed cockpit.
Look, man, so did the Fang 1.
Yeah.
And I still like the Fang 1.
The Fang is just little Nelly. I mean, come on, you know.
Little Nelly.
I'm not going to hold that against it. Brian King says my Ninja Vipers didn't come with any swords. Yeah, that'll happen.
Their hands were lethal weapons. They didn't need swords.
Right? It came with either black swords or gray swords or no swords, and you got the no swords.
Got to be registered 15 states.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart, Ninja Viper is a go-to Storm Shadow redeco, but it needs to enter fiction. You know what? It does. It does. Up next, Nunchuck. He's
Probably the best looking out of Ninja Force, but still just Ninja Force.
another Italian guy.
Yeah. Ralph Banucci.
Hey, Banucci, get over here and nunchuck a guy. Anyways. Well, I mean, that's what he was. That was his whole thing. He was the Nunchaku Ninja on his file card. Well, yeah, no kidding. His name's Nunchuck.
Not allowed to be seen in England at the time.
Right. Then we got Overkill. We actually have to have a discussion about Overkill.
Yeah, because he is a character who has endured to the point where Sigma 6 pretty prominently featured him in the cartoon.
Yeah, he's a dude who the concept really didn't die.
Yeah.
He moved on into the new sculpt Valor versus Venom era. Got a pretty good redesign, which we got to see in last month's Real American Hero. Which is weird that we didn't see this Clockwork Nightmare running around. But just for the sake of making it out alive, I think he's on the corporal line.
Or even higher, but yeah. Definitely not private.
The only what would keep him off the sergeant line for me, Phil, is what has he done besides exist?
I suppose it's his Valor versus Venom or Spy Troops design that probably really kicked him into any sort of consciousness too.
Yeah, it looks cool, but he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
So
fair enough. Corporal.
I'll give him corporal just because he made it. There's something there that has captured people's imagination enough to keep him around.
There was something there that people have tried to make better.
Right. Ooh, there it goes. Okay, we're back.
By the way, I need to defend my honor to Torpedo here.
Okay, he's got it up there. Who is Little Nelly? Phil, for shame. Major Boothroyd would like a word.
I didn't say who was Little Nelly. I just said Little Nelly in my best Sean Connery accent. But of course, it should be Roger Moore, I guess. If we no, it's not Sean Connery. You only live twice.
It's you only live twice.
You live twice. Yeah.
Nowhere Man Child sticking up for Overkill and Deke. And yeah, now that you mention it, he did pop up a few times there.
Yeah,
he popped apart a lot in Deke.
Your best Sean Connery only turned out to be a Neil Connery.
Yeah, well, come on. He got dubbed in that too, which is terrible.
Yes, I know, it's fantastic.
He wasn't available for the dubbing, so all right, well, get rid of that whole point of it.
I'm going to say again, Rob, don't say things you can't take back.
Oh, I'm doing it. Neil Connery. Neil Connery.
Up next, we have Sonic Commandos Psych Out.
Oy.
Patrick, look away.
Talk about a guy in his pajamas.
Yeah, he's worse
than the original Psych Out.
The original Psych Out had a lot of problems, and this guy manages to have a completely different set of problems.
He became the Borg.
More, but it's equal. Like, let's remember the original guy wore a fluorescent green crop top and had an antenna sticking out of his head, and had like nacho chip bowls on his arms.
Yeah. So, and this guy somehow manages to be worse.
I don't know about worse, but he's certainly not any better.
He did appear in Deke, as they had a few episodes that focused on the supersonic fighters, but that's about it.
True, but he was not particularly memorable in those, so I'm just going to go ahead and chuck him down here.
A story about a turd is still a turd.
Yeah. Now we got Sonic Fighters Road Pig.
Oh, dear
I like to call him Jersey Shore Road Pig.
Go ahead and pop him right up here where he belongs. He's the king of them all, y'all. No, he's a terrible repaint that I love
To be fair, he did become Cobra High Command in this period, and he did appear with a little rat tail in the Deke cartoon. So he does have some medium awareness at this point in time.
Yeah,
he couldn't be more Jersey Shore with a rat tail. Really, this is terrible.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Nobody ever comments why he's orange, and in the comics and cartoon he wasn't. But you know,
yeah, I just I don't know. Now we got Roadblock. For my best Roadblock figure of the Real American Hero run. This guy's awesome. The figure itself, awesome.
And also more known for the community's collector rarity than any impact he had in the cartoon or the comic.
The accessory that always broke, so they just killed it.
You know, it blinded kids. That's why.
Yeah, it was a safety hazard. There was no quality control there. They were plenty happy with how it worked. It worked a little too well.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And they did.
Damn, it sure did. And but as far as like they put him, he wore this outfit in the comics. I don't know if Roadblock ever made it into the Deke cartoon.
He did. Lost City of El Dorado, I can think of right off the bat. He appeared in with Duke.
Okay, but you know, what's your call on that, Phil? Because I think there's more notoriety for him than there is for Deep Six because of that.
I'm always willing to put more characters on Corporal just to break up the monotony.
But you know what? Even with that thing, I mean, if people look at that figure, oh, Roadblock looks like that.
He's got a monogrammed buckle for his belt. That alone should shoot him off from Private.
Oh. That's a low standard.
And yet so few characters clear it. Hawk in 82.
Noah Manchild throwing up the argument that Road Pig may not look good because he was on Deke and in the comics by the standard set. He should be Corporal because he's more than Heliviper nothing.
We disagree.
I the standard there, Jeff, is that Heliviper is a private because we can't go lower. More so than Road Pig is higher because Heliviper's I mean, Road Pig was he made a couple of appearances in the Deke cartoon. He didn't do a whole lot of real mention.
And he's still in the basement, but he's closer to the steps.
Yeah,
the Heliviper is hanging out by the water heater.
And don't get me wrong, I love Orange Road Pig. I love him. Okay, he is the bad figure that I have a disproportionate affection for. But
his weapons make even less sense.
Oh, Phil's lagged.
Uh-oh.
Or I've lagged. I don't know.
It's
universe? Have I reached off to the? Am I in the upside down? I don't know.
No, Phil's broken.
Hey.
What? You were broken. I'm sorry.
Everything loaded on your end too.
We got. I don't know. We won't worry about it. But anyways, going back, we got to Rock and Roll up next. Rock and Roll is. I
love the gimmick of his accessories, but he's a nothing.
Yeah, that was a bad figure too. Just ooh.
Bad color scheme on a good figure.
Yeah.
I did like again how his backpack turns into a bipod for his rifles, but nothing.
They could have just given him a bipod.
It was an attempt.
And a better coat of paint.
Then we got DEF Shockwave in his welder mask.
Ugh.
Yeah, but the best looking SWAT figure of the line. But again, what was it used for?
They didn't do nothing with him. Nothing.
Tragedy.
Mm-hmm. 3 rows of privates. Wait for live chat to catch up.
Remember, you demanded this.
This is what you bothered me for over a year. Next up is
3 rows of privates.
Next up is Sliche.
Should we make him sergeant? Patrick was arguing for it.
Patrick's wrong.
No,
There's nothing like Slice is a prominent henchman with no personality. Like he's just whatever. We remember Slice because his buddy's name was Dice.
Yes, but he had more figures than Dice.
Right, that's enough to get you off the private line, but that's about all.
Mm-hmm.
He had a fencer's mask. He was very French. I don't know.
Oh.
Then we have Air Commando.
It is pronounced Slice.
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 Oh. Move the grid up here a little bit because we got so many privates. We got so much privates.
Oh.
Yeah. Air Commando's Spirit is next.
I appreciate that his costume isn't as stereotypical as the previous version, but again, nothing going on otherwise.
Yeah, good figure. Weird, kind of like if they had muted the colors a little bit, it would have been a little better. Good.
Which I think the mail-in version is probably the better version of that.
Yeah, agreed. But like you said, Phil, they did nothing with him.
Yep.
Bong. Next up, we got Talking Battle Commander Stalker.
Again.
Yeah. Good to see you,
with him.
pal. Glad,
Nice
glad, you,
backpack.
glad you're keeping up and lifting weights and looking good. And yeah. Then we got the Steel Brigade that nobody likes.
Hey, I like him. That was the one I had.
Okay. Steel Brigade was really a non-entity. We'll just drop right there. We got Ninja Force Storm Shadow.
I might argue for Sergeant on this one, honestly. Again, pretty prominent in the comics for a few years on this one.
Don't might argue it. Argue it.
All right. Pretty prominent in the comics. Has a few episodes in Deke, one of which kind of does focus on him being, possible traitor for previously being Cobra. Like rare continuity acknowledgement in the cartoon. And even influenced a classified figure. Like, you got some staying power in that design.
I guess. Ragtime Rob, what do you think there?
I could go Sergeant.
So Phil, you say Sergeant?
Yep.
All right. We got Jeff Butler sticking up for Major on that one. I don't think he's necessarily wrong, but
He's my favorite of the Storm Shadow designs from the vintage.
if you guys say Sergeant, I will put him on the Sergeant line. My one vote does not count for your 2 votes. It's not Sonic Fighters Road Big, so I'm trying to do the wrong screen again. Because we're 5 from the end, and I still haven't figured out how this works. Next up, we got Ricky Martin.
Shebang, shebang.
Ricky Martin.
I desperately wanted to have that soundbite. I just ran out of time. But we're just gonna put him on the private line because another white dude in Ninja Force, whatever. We got the
Not
Toxo.
only that, he's a Ninja Force guy, and you go, "What's his name again?"
Well, everybody remembers his name because nobody can pronounce it.
Shebang.
Tijabang. Yeah, that's him. That's it. You got it.
Right there.
Club did a good version of him in a concept.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that to be quality, but there it was.
Got a little inventive with that one, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we got Toxo Zombie up next.
I wish I could say he should be higher than Private, but I don't know if I can justify that. I just personally love the figure. I also like that it's not actually a zombie. It's just some poor schmucks who have been horribly disfigured by shoddy Cobra equipment, and they're just, walking through the cafeteria. How's it going, Murray?
Their leaky suits leaked.
Right.
You lose that boot? Yep. Barefoot on the floor now.
Yeah, they're neat and all. I have an affection for these guys as an adult, but I can't say as a whole lot was done with them. They're kind of the progenitor of the mole rat, if you will. Like if you want to trace the lineage, but it's not the same thing.
And the club just turned them into generic zombies, which again saddens me.
Yeah.
It's like they're just shunned because they look ugly, but they're still just dudes. That's the hilarious part to me. Like, oh yeah, no, we just look like this.
Hey, Murph. Oh yeah, we'll just drop them in there. Then we got Wetsuit. Not a bad figure. Yellow's an interesting choice.
The mullet is an interesting choice.
Hey man, it was 1992. That's what all the hot dudes were wearing. Mullet.
Le Moulet.
I'm gonna plot him right here because that's where he goes. Then we got Cavalry Wild Bill. Again, another figure. I love this figure. Teddy Roosevelt Wild Bill is an absolute highlight for me.
I love that even his rocket looks old timey.
Right. Right. He is cosplaying this out to a Joe Colton degree.
Straight from the armory at Fort Courage.
But
He raided Tom Sawyer's Island at Disneyland.
But nothing came of this guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's go right here. And we go from
My
Wild
dream-
Bill to just regular Beal. Or as he was known here in
I
the
dream of an F Troop action figure line dash.
And here we got Zap version 2.
Clark Gable in action figure form.
I remember being at a KB Toys as a teenager and seeing this Zap on the pegs and saying, hey, they brought Zap back. I wasn't expecting that to happen. And then I put him back on the peg and walked out of the store. And that's just kind of this version of Zap in a nutshell, isn't it?
I wish they would have painted his goggles so it doesn't look like he's just wearing metal over his eyes and can't see anything.
Yeah, it would have helped.
Yeah.
My flash shields are down.
He uses a force to fire his
Exactly. He aims using the force.
I think Metalhead's over here. I'm hearing a lot of yelling of pows and zaps.
We'll just drop them right here.
There
Your
we go.
Ben Kenobi figure urging him on. Feel it flow through you.
That Wetsuit was a playable character in the Atlantis video game too. Somebody had to be. That's not enough, man. That's not enough.
Yeah,
It's just good. He was the GI Joe who swam. That's all.
There we go. Our tier list for 1992.
There's
a little bottom heavy.
1992 tier list. Ace's name is so big you can see it without a telescope from space. But there it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna make it for posterity.
Subtitle will be Craps a Poppin'.
Remember, second biggest year for G.I. Joe sales wise.
I think it was third, and that counts all of the Hall of Fame 12-inch stuff. So 3 3/4 sales for 1992 are always greatly exaggerated in the fandom. It was a huge year for sales, but it was a huge year in sales for 12, not for 3 3/4. And Rob said that the description is going to be
Those Hall of Fame figures are not great.
popping. No, they're really not, but they were fun at least. I don't think that's fair. Craps a poppin' isn't fair because I don't think these were bad figures per se.
No, a lot of them are not bad figures. They're just not memorable.
Yeah, they're not memorable at all. And someday we'll get around to doing these years again, and we'll just be ranking them by how much we like them. And that's going to be a much more fun series to get through. But until then, this is what we.
Televiper will still be on the bottom.
Yeah,
so
no, that's
ends the most requested segment in the history of What's on Joe Mind on YouTube. Right there, the 1992 the definitive character tier list for 1992.
Now, if we go on to 93 and 94, it's just going to get worse with the privates.
Yeah, I was joking with Rob as I was doing the prep work for this last week that I was just going to put a square at the end that said 1993 and another square at the end that said 1994 and just put them on the private list. Just to
Now,
piss
I have to argue with that on that one because in your general or major line is going to be the Street Fighter characters.
No, they're not even included. They're garbage.
It was just to piss everybody off.
They're not GI Joe. They're just hitching a ride.
That's not what the commercial says, and that's not what the
I
packaging
don't
says.
care. They're hitching a ride.
Torpedo Mike says that wetsuit sculpt looked better when they repainted it. Yes, they did. Again, the sculpts on a lot of these figures are pretty good. This is a well-built line of figures. It was just starting to get a little too 90s out there. We were losing a little bit of that military feel and leaning more into the science fiction end, where things were getting a little bright and a little hard to look at. Paint apps were getting a little sparse, so a lot of the hard work that was done on these sculpts was not necessarily being accentuated as it had been in years past. So there is still a lot of good work being done on G.I. Joe and some money being spent, but then not quite.
There's also money not being spent.
The vehicles from this year are also pretty weak.
Ugh. This is the year where we get the rat, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 92 is the rat. Dave McDonald can't wait for 93 next year.
Again, that'll be a 4-part series.
You got that set up for 2026, huh? Well, we'll see.
My head hurts just thinking about that already.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there are any breakout designs from 93.
72. That's Doug Dello says, as a sophomore junior in college in 92, I was totally disconnected from the line. After sitting through this, I'm good with it. Yeah, again, I've got some of these guys in hand. They're really not bad figures. Just there are some clunkers, sure, but there was some clunkers most years. So we will cover the later years at a later time. But there we are. Whatever your comments may be, if you're not catching us live, you're catching us on replay. Be sure to leave them down below underneath the description and all that other good fun YouTube type stuff. Let us know what you think. Let us know where you think we missed. You're wrong because our list is definitive. But we still want to hear what you think anyway.
Fight us on Road Pig.
I want to fight me on Road Pig, but
I don't have that energy. I'm sorry.
Doug wants that Ace figure. That's a good Ace figure.
Yeah, it's not bad.
The one
like the 93 Ace figure, you can put his helmet on him without worrying about the hair melting.
Yeah, the repaint looked good too, right? The next year it didn't look bad, but it just had that unfortunate problem with the hair.
A whole lot of bald spots on him.
Yeah. So real quick,
we got a little too close to the battle copter thing. That's what happened.
You said you had nothing new to show off, so why don't you go ahead and give us shout outs, because we are running pretty long.
All right, well, let's shout out Patrick if he's still in the chat. Say hello. He's my other half on the Articulated Points.
He is
we like to go into deep dives on toys. A lot of times it's G.I. Joe. Sometimes it's not. My most recent video was on Marvel Select X-Men figures. So, we like to just get deep in there, explore the history of these, what got them in there. Sometimes we'll even show unreleased toys, and we just like to do stuff that gets us happy. And we like to show off.
Stuff that makes you happy. Other times you do the 1992 definitive tier list.
You didn't say what we were doing before I was already in here. So.
That's for a reason, Phil.
He didn't tell me till last night.
Yeah. He actually had me agree to this episode last week, 20 minutes before last week's episode started.
I told you over the weekend, Rob. You were told over the weekend.
No, you told me last night.
No. Disagree. Maybe you weren't listening, but I told you over the weekend. Rob is privy to all the plans. So just Patrick, is that it? Is that all your shout out?
That's all. I don't want to get greedy.
I guess, whatever. Putting Patrick on the spot like that. You're all that's happening in his life right now, Patrick. I'm sorry.
He knows. He knows.
A lot of pressure, Patrick.
No pressure, Patrick. No pressure. Patrick's got all that work to do on Star Trek, and you're throwing this on him. You're a burden, Phil. A burden.
I'm preventing him from getting into that Lego.
I mean, let's
Enterprise
face
build.
it. Not only that, but he's probably neck deep in filming for Doomsday. So
Maybe. 19J Jace is thrilled with us. Great stream, boys. Woo. Just periods on the woo though.
Woo.
So it's late. You don't want to wake up the neighbors with that.
Yeah.
Ragtime Rob, who we shouting out to? Keep in mind.
Shout out to the studio audience.
Let me finish talking first.
Oh, I'm
Keep
sorry.
in mind. Keep in mind this is the last episode of the year. So there you go. That's all. That's all I had to add. Go ahead.
No, I don't want to. No.
The moment has passed.
Shout out to the studio audience. Happy holidays, all.
That it?
That's it.
I will reiterate Ragtime Rob's shout outs. Thank you just so much for joining us tonight. We did not have a huge live crowd this evening, but that's okay. Those of you who stuck around, you got something special. We like to we had the opportunity without a whole lot of news this week to sneak this one in. So I'm glad that we did. That really is what keeps us from doing these things more often. Is if there's news to cover, we already tend to go along as it is. So when there's news going on, it really bumps long segments like that to whenever we can do them. So we had a chance this time. We wanted to take advantage of it. Job along in Toy City. Shout out to the 33 years of anticipation that led to this stream. That's right.
Anticipation.
A third of a century waiting for this very stream. If you are catching us on replay, squad, don't be down. You count just as much. We love you all the same. Just whatever you do, make sure that you are clicking the little thumbs up button to like the video. If you're not subscribed, as about 25% of you that watch us every week are not, what's taking you so long? If you've sat through all this, YouTube is going to continue to throw us in your face for the rest of your natural life. You might as well just subscribe if you like this at all. Yeah, get on that. Click all those buttons. It's free. Doesn't cost you nothing. If you do have a couple of bucks, you want to help us support what's going on here at What's on Joe Mind. Maybe help us grow, help us expand. We do have a coffee account down below as well. Make sure you're checking that out. For our wonderful friends and sponsors at Kokomo Toys, we want to wish you guys the best. A happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah. And very quickly, we will sing the Christmas version of the Kokomo Toys theme song.
Uh-oh.
Kokomo Toys. Kokomo
Toys.
Merry Christmas. There you go. There it is.
I forgot the jingle bells.
Right. I mean, if only. Again, can't wait for 1993 and 2026. That's putting way too much pressure on things. I think that is an early 2027 project at best at this point. At best. But as we said, this is our last live show of the year. I will have a little bit of content. We took some little fun videos while we were out at Assembly Required. My own bad health the last couple of weeks has really put a damper on me getting that done in any kind of timeliness. I've gotten some of them finished. We'll start pushing them out over the next week or so, and hopefully that'll keep the fires warm for you for a little while. And maybe we'll have some other fun surprises for you as we go along as well. Got some other stuff that we need to take care of for a couple of weeks besides the holidays. So that's why we're taking a little bit of a break. So no show next week, Christmas week, no show New Year's week, no show the week after that. So we will be back on January 13th.
Yes.
Mm.
Let me real quick pull up my calendar. Just to be absolutely certain on the date. Yeah, there we are. January 13th. So that is 4 weeks will be our next live show. Hopefully we don't miss too much. But Yeah, then them's the breaks. You got our other social media down below. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Bluesky. I tend to pay more attention to those when I'm not doing shows every week because, if we're not communicating with you somehow, then they tend to get more important when that's the only lifeline. If you got anything for us, our email remains the same. We are at whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We love to share pictures of Christmas hauls, of customs, of if you're out and about getting autographs and signatures at toy shows. Basically, your fan experience, we're here for you. This show's all about community, always has been from day one. So that's it right there. whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Let me get that up on the screen there. There we go. Bam. And so, again, anything we do reserve the right to edit any kind of letters or questions that you have for us for the show's content. But we tend not to do that. Sometimes a fixed grammar, but that's about as bad as it gets. I think that's about it, guys. I think we've kept you long enough. I think after almost 2.5 hours, you're dismissed.
I gotta go to bed.
Right.
Freedom.
Rob's got to go to bed, and I got to take a lozenge.
Yeah. Like my sign says, "Happy holidays." Go
home. For all of us here at What's on Joe Mind, for Phil Donnelly, our guest host from Articulated Points, for Racktime Rob, I'm Mike Irizarry. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year. As our friend Vagon, I am losing my voice so bad. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. As our friend Santa likes to say, ho, ho, ho. That's also what the Green Giant says. But we'll get him on Arbor Day.
You never see those two at the same place at the same time.
You never do.
Santa was flying over the gamma bomb testing site.
But you guys have a great rest of the week. Have a great holiday season. We will see you in 2026 with the best of 2025 episode. I'll be here. Rob will be here. Phil will be here. And it's already scheduled. That's how far in advance we got this one planned. That's how well you can dial it in. And until then, have a great time. Thanks for watching. Night, everybody. Yo, Joe.